Alongside Jesse Simonton, I'm Austin Price. Jesse, Tennessee picks up Jaylen Wright on this Monday. I think Tennessee wants to take two backs in this class, so this gives them one. What does Jaylen Wright's commitment mean for Tennessee?
Well, I mean, right off the jump, I mean, Tennessee gets a guy that just has game-changing speed. There's only a few kids in the country that run as fast as Jaylen Wright. Now, he's a little smaller. He doesn't kind of have as much experience as maybe some of the top guys. His coach, Coach Robinson kind of spoke to that in the impact analysis piece. But the kid's a burner. I mean, he's a state champion, track champion, ran the fastest 55-meter time in the country back in December 2019. So they're just getting kind of just some raw speed. He's a playmaker. They like his ability to kind of use him in and out of the backfield. Jade Graham has clearly decided that since coming back to Tennessee, he's gonna make North Carolina his state. That's where he has a lot of experience going in there. This kind of continues that trend, but specifically landing kind of an impact playmaker, a guy who, doesn't have a lot of tread on those tires because he's split carries the last couple of years. So even though he's played varsity since he was a freshman, he only touched the ball 89 times a year ago. So Tennessee's getting a little game breaker, needs to add some weight, continue to get stronger, but pure speed. That's what, screams about the addition of Jaylen Wright to me.
Well, and what stood out to me was in talking to him that he said coaches at the college level, both football and track, have told him if you can improve your flexibility, you're still not as flexible as you could be. If you improve your flexibility, you could be faster. That's scary for a guy that, as you said, picked him up and put him down back in December in a 55-meter.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not outlandish or hyperbolic to say that Jaylen Wright is legitimately one of the fastest people in the country right now. I mean, he just is. Like, the track times show that. So how does that translate to the football field? Again, his coach, Coach Robinson's pretty confident that Tennessee kind of got kind of a diamond in the rough, that, because maybe Jaylen doesn't have as much film, hasn't camped as many places because he does so much track, that, his Coach Robinson said it straight up. I think Jaylen's as good as Will Shipley. Will Shipley's considered one of the best running backs in this 2021 class, so that's high praise. I think kind of spinning this forward, AP, Tennessee did a nice job getting in early on Jaylen Wright. Now, depending on what happens with COVID-19 or whether we play football in the fall or not, if we do, hypothetically, Wright's going to be a guy that I think really kind of burst onto the scene, especially for the NC States, the North Carolinas, some of those schools, Maryland, some of these other schools in the DMV. Tennessee getting that commitment early, big deal in my opinion.
Well, and when you factor in that even if we play football in the fall, this summer likely will be in jeopardy as far as being able to do camps and stuff. So not being able to hit the camp circuit, whether it be at the Under Armour camps, the Rivals camps, going on campus and doing the camps at colleges, that's a big deal when you factor in the fact you're right. He is a diamond in the rough, a guy that's not been seen by a lot of eyes outside of just game tape. So when coaches can't see him, with their own two eyes, it probably helps Tennessee just a little bit because he stays hidden for now.
Yeah, he does. And, again, that Jade Graham has pitched him on this idea of kind of being a more explosive Dalvin Cook. That's very lofty praise. We'll see if that translates. His coach said that, he's a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield. He does not have a lot of experience doing that, though. So if they want to use him in the screen game, I do think there's some things that clearly Jaylen needs to improve upon. Only had 6 catches last year as a junior, even though he plays in kind of the spread offense. But I like the addition for Tennessee. Like you said, they want 2 backs in this class. You check one of them off now. And now you kind of continue to recruit the Cody Browns and some of these other kids. Obviously, Travion Henderson's off the board at Ohio State. Evan Pryor also off the board for Ohio State. So, some of these blue chippers that Tennessee's going for, not kind of around anymore. I think Cody Brown's probably number 1. We'll see kind of who else is kind of an attainable target there.
Well, there's to me, there's 3 names that stand out.
LJ.
Cody Brown being 1, LJ Johnson being 2. The other one is Tyon Evans, a junior college kid who's originally from South Carolina. Jade Graham's got a pretty good tie there, over there in the Carolinas with people around Tyon. So a lot of people have pegged him for South Carolina, but in talking to the kid, I'm not so sure that's a slam dunk. I think that there's plenty of kind of outside thinking that he could end up elsewhere other than the home state Gamecocks. This is a kid that went away to JUCO out in the Midwest on his own, South Carolina didn't place him there. So to me, those are three backs that stand out a lot when talking about who could be the second back in this class.
And it does seem like South Carolina's leaning hard on Tyon to kind of jump in the boat as soon as possible. And so if he does kind of resist maybe those urges, then yeah, Tennessee's got a shot there. I think too, just kind of another domino with the addition of Jaylen as it kind of continues again. Jade Graham trying to get in those Carolinas. They now have two commits in this 2021 class from the Tar Heel State, Isaac Washington and Jaylen Wright. And then the board's still pretty open from there. I mean, I think they've kind of, caught up with Georgia a little bit in terms of Javari Ritzie. We'll see where they are with Dillsworth, but I think that he's obviously a big target. Trevally Price, Cayman Marley was supposed to be here. And then, Peyton Page maybe a little bit lower on the board, but he's still a target out there. And he recently announced on Twitter, he wants to make a decision before his senior season.
That's a look at the commitment of Jaylen Wright. He's Jesse Simonton. I'm Austin Price.